Hi, all. I'm Boomer Trujillo. I am a professor of philosophy, and I know that a lot of you are going to be going online pretty quickly, and there's a lot of ways of doing this, depending on whether you're using Blackboard or Brightspace or whatever your course management software is. Some of you are going to use Skype or Zoom or whatever else. That's fine. I just wanted to show you how to use potentially OBS or Open Broadcaster software. This is available for free online. You can Google OBS or Open Broadcaster software. You can download it, and then after you install it, you will get something like this. Now, what I want to do is to show you a very, very basic setup. This software is fairly powerful, and you could basically set something up like a television program using this software. But we don't need that. I just want to show you very basic stuff and some very basic stuff to avoid. Okay. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add your audio. I already have 3 things set up so that you can see and hear me right now that I'm making this video. But I'm going to show you something. And the first thing that you want to do is make sure to add your audio device. Now, whenever you add something, you're just going to click on this little plus sign down here, which is add. And this is where you're going to be able to add anything to your little preview here. This square has kind of a trippy effect because it's capturing the capture itself, but this is what it's going to preview or what it's going to look like wherever you're broadcasting this. You can broadcast this to Twitch, to YouTube, or you can just simply start a video to record and upload that to wherever you need to do. All of this basically will produce the same result of sending this preview to wherever you're sending the image via streaming or wherever you're saving it whenever you're saving it to start the recording. Now, again, let's do the microphone thing. Now, this is going to produce a little bit of an echo, just as a forewarning, but I want to show you how to do this. So to add the audio, which is the first thing you should do, you click on the plus, and then you're going to go to audio input capture. All right. This is going to bring up a source to do things. I named mine microphone, right? And then you're going to hit OK. The default option is going to do whatever your default input device is. I selected Yeti microphone because that's what I'm using right here. It's what I like to use. It produces pretty good audio. But whatever you do, you just select it and then you'll hit OK. All right. It's echoing all of my audio. So this is an opportunity for me to show you how to delete something. So I want to delete my duplicate audio. I select it right here and I hit the minus sign, which is remove. Yes. Okay. Now it's removed. All right. The audio should be fixed. The other very quick thing that I would recommend is whenever you have your microphone set up, you can right click and you can hit on filters. And what this will do is it will bring up some different options that you can do to produce the audio, to change the audio a little bit. And again, you can hit the plus option. And if you hit that plus option, the most useful one, in my experience, is the noise gate. And what a noise gate does, and these are the default settings, after you hit OK, it will pop up something like this, is it basically means that once your voice reaches a certain threshold, it will capture the audio. But then once you've stopped talking, it will stop capturing the audio. So this will eliminate a lot of background sounds and stuff like that. So I'm gonna close this. That's something that you can do to help with the audio. All right. The next thing that you're going to want to do is set up a webcam. Because I mean, it's going to be really boring to watch just a desktop. If you have a webcam, this can add a lot of interest and it can help your broadcast look a little bit better. So again, plus button. And this time, however, we're going to go to a video capture device. All right. I already have the webcam, like I was saying. And what I would do here in the device settings is I would select my webcam. Again, I have it already selected, and then I would hit OK. It produced a duplicate, so I'm going to delete that again. All right. And the next thing that you want to do is to add the desktop. Okay. And the way that you're going to do that is you're going to go to the plus button again, and you're going to go to display capture. And what this is going to allow you to do is if you had multiple monitors, this would allow you to basically set up one of the monitors Or if you have just one monitor like me, you can select that. So you'll hit OK, and I know it did that trippy effect thing. And you would choose the display. In my case, like I said, I'm only running one monitor. Then I would hit OK. All right, so I'm going to delete that. What's interesting about OBS is that it allows you to move stuff around. So for example, here is my webcam. If I click on it, you'll notice that the background has, or the border has turned red. Now I can click and drag that wherever I want that to be in my display, and it will move stuff around. I'm going to keep it up here in the top right. Okay. If I like where it is, I can, down here in the sources feed, hit the lock button. And what that does is it's not going to allow me to move it anymore. So if I have stuff where I like the location of where it is, I can set that up and hit the lock and make sure that it stays put. Okay. Now I'm going to show you kind of how to manage your desktop to make sure that you can do what you want to do. So we have in here our display capture named the desktop. All right. And one thing that you can do whenever you're managing multiple windows on a single display, and this is in Windows, is you can, up here on the bar of the program, you can click, hold, and drag and snap it to one side. Or you can hold the Windows key on your keyboard, which is down between your Control and Alt key, and you can use the right arrow key, and that's going to snap it to the right half of your display. Okay, so I like this desktop, but chances are a lot of my students aren't going to like it. And what I'm trying to show here is that you have to be very careful whenever you're using your personal computer and you're broadcasting this kind of stuff, especially if I had some icons and stuff like that that were saying inappropriate things, which is very likely the case with me and a lot of other people who use the internet regularly. So a couple of things that I would recommend is if you right click on your desktop, and you go to view, you can actually uncheck the show desktop icons. Okay. And so that will get rid of all of the stuff that's on your desktop. And of course, you can right click and you can personalize, right? And you can change, you can use some sort of other desktop. So, just a default image or something like that. So now we have something relatively innocuous and something that will not get you fired or in any hot water if administrators catch one of your broadcasts. Okay. So basically what happened is when I made sure that the OBS was active and I held the Windows key and hit right, or if I click, held, and drag and then snapped it to the right, that means the right side of my screen is the OBS. It's previewing, it's showing me what I'm going to do. And the left half I can use to do whatever. Okay. So one thing that I'm a big fan of is using Microsoft Word to type notes. And so I can open up Microsoft Word, I can open up a blank document, right? And now I can type whatever. And so here I will typically increase the font fairly large, and I'll use something like an ordered list so that I can type my notes here. And in fact, I'm going to probably make that text even bigger so that it's easy to read on my preview. I can type in my notes here. I can adjust the zoom and all those types of things. To do that, I have this going on. All right. Also, I can open up an internet browser. All right. And another thing that I want to warn you about here is you want to make sure, so I have multiple internet browsers installed. I typically use Chrome. I use Mozilla whenever I'm streaming or producing videos like this, is you want to make sure that you've deleted all of your search history and all of that kind of stuff. So if I just type in philosophy, I have some results like philosophy WTF, I don't know what I'm doing, philosophy studs, philosophy babes, philosophy farts, which are my usual Google settings. But what I want to do, or things that I'm looking for in Google, is to basically press on my keyboard Control-Shift-Delete. And that will bring up a way to make sure that I can delete everything, check all of this and clear all of this to make sure that nothing embarrassing like that happens, because it will happen if you are not careful. So that's the basic setup. That's kind of how I would run it. If you wanted to add something even a little more polished looking, what you could do is add some sort of background setting. So for example, I will say Diogenes of Sinope, right? interesting philosopher, and I'll go to images. Okay. And I'm going to go to tools right here, size large, to try and get us a large image. And what I'm basically going to do here is I'm going to show how to put this image into the broadcasting software to kind of create a little bit of a more professional appearance. So I just need to find any sort of image. I can right click, save the image as, and I can save it in my desktop, right? Okay. Now I can go back into OBS, and just like the plus button, I can hit plus, and then I can type, or I can hit image, hit OK. Then it brings up the option to browse. I can click browse, and then I just navigate to wherever I had the images. I have Diogenes. I hit OK. All right. So what this does is it allows me to import the image into OBS. It's covering everything right now. But the reason why I might recommend this is if you move this to be roughly half of your screen, right? You have an image, and what I should do is make sure to drag my webcam, right? Make sure to drag my webcam in front of my image. So this is hierarchical, this list, meaning if you have image above it, anything below the image is basically going to take precedence. But if you put webcam above it, then it will obviously display above it. So we have the image of Diogenes here. I have it set up to hide the right half of my display. And so now what this means is whenever I snap my OBS to the right side of my display, you can't see it anymore. There's no more trippy effect. Rather, there's just this image of Diogenes in the background and my webcam on top. You can also do this for using an internet browser. So for example, if you have something that you're pulling up, I use mentimeter.com to use live polling. So for example, I could drag it to the left side whenever I'm doing polling, and whenever I'm ready, I can make sure to drag it to the right side. And now it's hidden and I'm just back to my notes. So I think that that should get you off the ground whenever you're using something like OBS. And I just wanted to give you really quick stuff to avoid and show you why you want to avoid it. Check your desktop and your desktop icons. Check your browser history, because that stuff is going to pop up and it might not be a good thing. And you can teach very effectively something with OBS with just one display. You don't have to have an advanced display to do this sort of setup. And there's lots of tutorials on YouTube. I would highly recommend anytime you have a question, just Googling it or popping it into YouTube. And typically there will be lots of ways to set it up. The last thing that I want to mention before I end this video is one thing that can really, really help out is making sure that you have headphones for your output. The reason is anytime that you have a microphone, especially if you have a sensitive microphone, there's going to be a lot of feedback and a lot of echo if your speakers are coming from the environment and they're hitting your microphone. So if you run your audio through headphones, that's going to help you out. And then a microphone can really take your audio to the next level. But depending on what kind of computer you're using, right? So some of the contemporary laptops, which you can use this on, will allow you to use something like the earbuds that have built-in microphones with the little lavalier microphone. That's also really effective. You don't need all that fantastic of a microphone to have a good audio. And especially in a circumstance like this, I just want to emphasize that the good teaching stuff that you do regularly comes into play here. Know kind of what your takeaway lessons are. Try to find ways to engage with your audience. Say what you need to say, repeat it, all those types of things. But also be forgiving of yourself, because these are special circumstances and it's not going to be a immediate sort of success or awesome. So just keep working with it. You're going to find ways to work through stuff. So hopefully that will help you to get started on OBS. Like I said, you can download it for free if you just pop it into Google. And hopefully this has given you a little bit of a way to start out with OBS. And I pop this back over into the left so that we can actually see it. You can see that this video is depressed, right? And if I click it, it will stop recording. And what it will have done is exported the video into my videos folder. And then once I have stopped the recording, I can upload it to wherever, in this case, to YouTube. So good luck out there. Stay safe, wash your hands, and yeah, good luck with everything.